Welcome you all, my dear learners. I am Mrs. M. Suguna, Assistant Professor, Department of Computer Science from St.Josephs College of Arts and Science for Women, Urdu. Now we are here to discuss about the subject Information Technology in Business. In particular, we are going to discuss about the topic Functions of Dbms. So coming to the introduction of database. Database is a collection of interrelated data stored together with controlled redundancy to serve one or more applications in an optimal fashion. A database is organized in such a way that a computer program can quickly select desired pieces of data. Traditional databases are organized by fields, records, and tables, that is, files. So first coming to field, it is a single piece of information. It could be name or number. In some cases, it can also be null. Next comes record. It is a collection of related fields. A number of pieces of information that relate to the same object. For example, if we have records on an employee, we might have their name, address, social security number, phone number, etc. Each piece of the information relates back to one employee. This would be the employee's record. And next, about the table, it is a collection of related records. If we put all the employee records together, we have a table of employees. And next comes the word database. Database is nothing but a collection of tables. If we were keeping the company records, we might have a table of employees, a table of customers, and another for sales records. All these tables would be combined as a database. Next, we are going to see the introduction about DBMS. To access information from database, we need DBMS. DBMS is nothing but database management system. It is a system software for creating and managing databases. The DBMS provides users and programmers with a systematic way to create, retrieve, update, and manage data. Database system can be used in various places such as banking, library systems, airline reservation system, and also internet purchasing system. Now let us see in detail about the functions of DBMS. There are several functions that a DBMS performs to ensure data integrity and consistency of data in the database. The 10 functions available in the DBMS are data dictionary management, data storage management, data transformation and presentation, security management, multi-user access control, backup and recovery management, data integrity management, database access languages, and application programming interfaces, database communication interfaces, and last, transaction management. Now let us see the first function, data dictionary management. Data dictionary is where the DBMS stores definitions of the data elements and their relationships, that is metadata. The DBMS uses this function to look up the required data component structures and relationships. This function removes structural and data dependency and provides the user with data abstraction. The data dictionary is often hidden from the user and is used by database administrators and programmers. Next comes the function data storage management. This particular function is used for the storage of data and any related data entry forms or screen definitions, report definitions, data validation rules, procedural code, and structures that can handle video and picture formats. Users do not need to know how data is stored or manipulated. Also involved with this structure is a term called performance tuning that relates to a database's efficiency in relation to storage and access speed. Next comes the function data transformation and presentation. This function exists to transform any data entered into required data structures. By using the data transformation and presentation function, the DBMS can determine the difference between logical and physical data formats. The fourth function is security management. This is one of the most important functions in the DBMS. Security management sets rules that determine specific users that are allowed to access the database. Users are given a username and password, or sometimes through biometric authentication, such as fingerprints and retina scan. But these types of authentication tend to be more costly. This function also sets restrictions on what specific data any user can see or manage. The fifth function of DBMS is multi-user access control. Data integrity and data consistency are the basics of this function. Multi-user access control is a very useful tool in a DBMS. It enables multiple users to access the database simultaneously without affecting the integrity of the database. Next comes the function backup and recovery management. Backup and recovery is brought to mind whenever there is potential outside threats to a database. For example, if there is a power outage, recovery management is how long it takes to recover the database after the outage. Backup management refers to the data safety and integrity. For example, backing up all your MP3 files on a disk. Next function is data integrity management. The DBMS enforces these rules to reduce things such as data redundancy, which is when data is stored in more than one place unnecessarily, and maximizing data consistency, making sure database is returning correct or same answer each time for the same question asked. Next function is database access languages and application programming interfaces. A query language is a non-procedural language. An example of this is SQL, that is structured query language. SQL is the most common query language supported by the majority of DBMS vendors. The use of this language makes it easy for users to specify what they want done without the headache of explaining how to specifically do it. The next function is database communication interfaces. This refers to how a DBMS can accept different end-user requests through different network environments. An example of this can be easily related to the internet. A DBMS can provide access to the database using the internet through web browsers such as Mozilla Firefox, Internet Explorer, and Netscape Navigator. Next comes the last function, transaction management. This refers to how a DBMS must supply a method that will guarantee that all the updates in a given transaction are made or not made. All transactions must follow what is called the ACID properties. Here A stands for atomicity, that states a transaction is an indivisible unit that is either performed as a whole and not by its part or not performed at all. It is the responsibility of recovery management to make sure this takes happen. Here C stands for consistency, that is a transaction must alter the database from one constant state to another constant state. And I stands for isolation, that is transactions must be executed independently of one another. That is part of transaction in progress should not be able to be seen by another transaction. And D stands for durability, that is a successfully completed transaction is recorded permanently in the database and must not be lost due to failures. So that's all about the 10 functions of DBMS. Now it is the time for question session. Here I have given you two questions. Kindly read the questions clearly and answer in comment box. So by specifying the question number, give your answer in comment box. The first question is, which of the DBMS components ensures that concurrent execution of multiple operations on the database results in a consistent database state, whether it is buffer manager, file manager, logs, or transaction processing system. And second question is, give expansion of the term ACID. We have discussed in the concept, so remember clearly and answer it in the comment box. Thank you all my dear learners. Let us see in next video. Thank you once again.